Hello everybody, I'm ClockworkCartoon, full-time villain, part-time streamer, and welcome in! Hello balls! Thank you for joining us today. And, unfortunately, I will not be drawing whoever this is from Metal Slug. Not even sure what that series is. But, I'll be honest today, I am a tad tired. So I wanted to do something simple, easy, and also something that I should have been working on for a while now, but have been preoccupied with other stuff. And that is drawing weaponry. Not any kind of weaponry, but fantasy weaponry. Now then, I suppose without further ado, let's just get right into it. Like I said, relaxing day, calm day. I suppose while I'm doing this, one other thing on my mind lately. I should probably draw a circle actually, or make a circle first. Is recently I've been feeling nostalgic for Minecraft, you know? The simple idea of how to really say. How to say. Wait, why are there two? Oh, right. Hold on. Let me. Nope. It's gotta figure out. There. That done? Okay, yeah. Where was I? Right. Minecraft. I don't know. I've just been feeling nostalgic for it as of late. Though more specifically, I've been feeling nostalgic over old Minecraft adventure maps. Epic jump maps, which I bring up from time to time, are the ones I remember the most fondly, I suppose. Hmm. Just make sure everything is here. And in lieu of that, I've recently started building out my own. Well, a classic style Minecraft adventure map. Of course, with all the modern bells and whistles. I forgot about the... I really need to fix my keybinds, so I'm not constantly switching between my outfits on accident. Now then. That's not what I meant to do. Hmm. Wait, what was I looking for? No, wait, it's view. Block guides. How does a serpent's mouth look? Probably like this. Was that right? So I'm currently just kind of in creative mode in my own time, building out a Minecraft adventure map based on the Epic Jump Map series by Bodo40. Eh, basically like that, maybe a bit more. Not sure what exactly I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll see if I can convince some of my friends to play it. I wonder what would be cooler. Having it as like an engraving or having it as... You know, maybe I should use a thinner one. This thick brush isn't really, I'm not really feeling it. Again, I will have to end up redoing it, so shoot. Yeah, I usually resketch over my own stuff anyway, so. There. Then a bit more curve here instead of and maybe something a bit more gentle. Although you don't know, the chalk is a weapon that was basically a sharpened disc with a handle. It was often used as a throwing instrument, and I am making that now. Or at least trying to make stylized variations of the concept. It's probably going to be more than just this one, though I did name the file Ouroboros because that's the idea I had for this first one. But I don't know, I don't think there's many variations I can really do with a circle and snake. And I really don't want to have to do all the scales. I mean, what other circular ideas do you all have? And I guess sun, but that seems a bit too obvious. Maybe a crescent moon? I mean, that's not exactly any better, but at least a crescent moon isn't any more unique compared comparatively. At least with the sun, you have all the spikes on the area, but and there's also the unfortunate element that, let's face it, that snake headpiece would throw the weight way off, but I'm not really concerned about realism here. Really, what's been on my mind the most is just trying to fill my time with meaningful projects, I guess. The one thing I have noticed, I am not very good when it comes to managing my time and schedule. Like without any kind of external pressure, I notice I can't really get much work done outside of the easiest and most immediate stuff I want to do. However, streaming, I've been able to show some amount of consistency with. I mean, I'm using this art stream to get some work done. I don't know, something I've been considering for the future is increasing the amount of streams I do even more, but in the form of unarchived work streams. Honestly, these ones not even really particularly for viewership or for bloody hell, what was it? For viewership or for even like outright fun, but mostly just so I can get stuff done. Because I mean, if I'm able to maintain a stream schedule, hopefully I can take that consistency with me into other tasks, like editing streams, perchance, maybe even design streams. Honestly, just putting it on my stream schedule would probably go a ways to help. I feel like I've fucked up here. I don't know, what do you all think? On one hand, I wonder if this will end up, like, overwhelming me. On the other hand, I mean, streaming itself isn't too difficult, necessarily. So just doing, like, daily streams and then splitting that up into streams for recreation versus streams for, work. Granted, that may also be accompanied by more changes to my schedule. Granted, it also makes the assumption that I am in fact figuring out like what I'm dedicating my time to, you know? Definitely not the Minecraft Adventure Map thing. Like that's something I can do just fine on my own time for fun. Like I don't need to schedule myself. But stuff like how far back should the eye be? Hmm. On circular eye. Ah, eh, maybe. Maybe not so thin. There we go. But video editing, like video editing streams, I feel like I'm fucking up the eye placement here. Yeah, that's good. Right. Video editing streams and study. Actually, if I say that's where the handle is, and then this where one. Yeah. Other than video editing, not really sure what else. Let me think. That thick enough? I'd say so. Because if we assume that the handle is like here-ish, and the rest of it actually, maybe more sense if it was more like internal thing, because typically the blade, but I'll say the course for now. Game design is something that really do need to get into, though. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, I went to college for it. I need to develop something proper. The biggest thing is just deciding on what to develop first. I mean, the card game, right, honestly, thinking on it, the card game is probably something I should have spent more time focusing on. I mean, there's a big difference between designing the production of designing the cards and then doing all the art and the play testing. You know, I never considered what the actual depth of this thing is. Is it flat? Is it rounded? It's probably gonna have to be flat, save for the handle area. Yeah, drawing circles was always a pain. Granted, I really could have just used the line tool. And I don't know, I like to do at least one all-by-hand sketch, you know? And then go back and use line tools and shape tools. This kind of works out at this distance. So if we assume that the handle is like here, and it's a pretty big handle, I'd say. Maybe a bit less. Yeah, this will probably be better. Granted, it's not exactly how a chalk room would be designed. Considering, again, you don't really see, I mean, technically, I guess you do get some more elaborate chalk room design. Nah, that would, and I don't know, that looks odd to me. I feel like immediate thought is that it should be more like this. The handle being it makes the snake head a bit fatter, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. And actually, I can see. Oh god, how do you do snake scales around the head? Ah, okay. We go with a simple approach, which is just a diamond pattern. A really bad diamond pattern. Ah, crap. God damn it, I'm constantly shifting in my seat. You know, I just realized I never adjusted my chair. Much better. I do want to ask, how is everyone else doing today? Like I said, most of my mind's just been on, like, what do I want to spend my time doing? Oh, God, this looks awful. Hold on, let me... How do you see snake scales done in other art? Oh, look at this elaborate shit. Oh, I actually... Wait, the belly of a snake. Oh, I just had an idea. I just had an idea. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, redo a bit later, but... I mean, this isn't quite accurate to actual snake scales, but I mean, who's judging on accuracy, eh? Actually, I should... If I did it more like this, though... Go like that. This should speed up the process a little. And that's one other thing that I've actually been talking with my brother about is the possibility of making a FNAF fan game. Like, that seems like a pretty simple game type thing to work on, you know? Yeah. I remember a while back for Halloween, I did a tried to do a FNAF fan game, dedicated stream. Basically just playing through all of my favorite FNAF fan games. I mean, it didn't go exactly to plan. Ah, God, this looks weird. Can that help? Nah, no, I don't think so. You know what, it gets the idea across. Although I feel like the scale, or the quote-unquote scale, should be a little smaller, so maybe something... Oh wait, no. If I do it like that, then it needs to be more... Wait, no, if it's like that, that means... Okay, now I can't figure it out. You know what, this gets the idea across. But the other idea I need to get across... You're that. You... That. Because I just remembered snakes have a belly, a stomach. Something approximating an underside. Yeah. Not really for any kind of uh practicality purpose, more so... Yeah, damn it. I suppose another thing I want to ask is the start screen. I don't know. I like the start screen. I put a lot of effort into making the start screen design. At the same time, I've heard conflicting things about, like, oh, do you want to either start off stream immediately versus all convention, where it seems a lot of streamers do have these long starting soon screens. I guess it's more of an idea of, like, hitting starting soon as you're ready. That makes sense? Versus giving it a 10-minute recess just for the sake of having it. And the reason I bring it up is the point of the starting soon screen for me is just to give, like, the people on my Discord time to get into stream. You know? Like, I don't want them missing the first intro part. Again, I guess that's what talking would be for, you know? Like, basically trying to stall out the beginning of the stream, waiting for people to filter in, versus having a starting soon screen. At the very least, I think one of the things I'm gonna end up doing is removing the idea of a starting soon screen for the YouTube recordings or the VODs. What are you? And just have the VOD start off right as the stream starts, you know? How we do. I just realized I probably could have erased these and made it. Save me some time. Far Far West is another thing that I've been doing lately. Like I said, I've been playing a bit off stream. Well, a bit off stream, a lot off stream. I have been grinding my ass off leveling my cowboy, as well as reaching, well, not max level of cactus magic, but I unlocked all the cactus spells. And it's been interesting trying to play around with the cacti and seeing what combinations work. If I can only think of like a few ideas for a possible chakram weapon, this Ouroboros seemed one, and another one that is just like a hexagon, or maybe an octagon. Guess it'd be depending on the size, you need to consider the size of the handle. Because, like, since it's not exactly easy to tell. Really, this stream will be just me tossing out ideas and working on ideas I've had. Hey Fox, welcome in. I'm just gonna be doing some random drawing stuff. A lot of stuff that I should have been doing for a while now. I got sidetracked with charity events and family matters. The point is, I'm doing some weapon stuff. Okay, I really feel like I need like a bit more. God, snake scales, how do they work? And hello, Zolly Axolotl on the YouTube side of things. Welcome in. I'm just doing some real well, sort of simple. Wait, I can erase that shit. Damn layers. I'm making fantasy weapons. I can't erase that though. Here I feel special. On the YouTube side of things, not sure what about YouTube is so special, but sure enough. Okay, let's go with the complicated thingy. Oh god, I hate this already. Seriously, I don't know how to do snake scales. I don't. Every example I can find just seems to be like random lumps, like this. And hello, Warcraft. Welcome in as well. I'm doing fantasy weapons. Fucking snake. Okay, you know what? This is supposed to be a handle. Draw fantasy weapons. Why not? I mean, what do you typically draw, Axolotl? You know what? Let's just go for the generic, quote-unquote, stylized approach. And by stylized, I mean random shapes that look cool but don't make any sense for what it's supposed to be. Behold. Fucking arrows. It's a racetrack booster. Ah. My friend, because I'm an axolotl, I'm automatically labeled as a femboy. What? I mean, I did not know that was a stereotype in the furry community, but I get the more you know. Learn something new every day. To answer your question, Warcraft, Zolly the Axolotl on the YouTube side of thing has said, my friend, because I am an axolotl, I'm automatically labeled as a femboy. So I guess that's a tidbit of information for all of you who didn't know. Well, I draw a lot of things, characters, OCs, and sometimes busty girls if I'm bored. Ah yes, I also draw busty characters, just kind of as a general thing. Anyway, I like drawing those kinds of designs. I went on a whole rant about this on an earlier. Okay, that's a new one. The more you know, Warcraft. But Zolly, I went on a whole rant about how, for some God knows why reason, I find drawing female characters easier compared to drawing male characters, and as such, I have a lot more female designs compared to male designs. Okay, now that looks weird. Now this is fine. But also, so in that same stream, I talked about how I found drawing heroes a lot harder than drawing villains. And I think, and I've had a lot of time to think since then, and I think I know the reason why. Okay, first off, let's look at the origins of where heroes came from. Or maybe not the origins of where heroes came from, but the one who set the standard for heroes. Superman, because let's face it, Superman might not have been the first hero, but he's what popularized comic book superheroes. And so, Superman ended up setting the standard of tight spandex. Or at least quote-unquote spandex. Technically, it wasn't confirmed to be spandex, but it's... Okay, this is actually an explanation that one of my friends told me, and I don't know if this is true. I could entirely be talking out my ass here. But my friend theorized that the reason why there were so many skin-tight superhero comics, or skin-tight superhero outfits, originally, was because it was easier to draw. You didn't need to worry about any extraneous details, you didn't need to worry about any kind of clothing elements. You just needed to draw the shape of the body, and then let the colorist do the rest. Why are you humming me, Warcraft? Why the hmm? Is that why you like here? No, this is a completely different thing. And hello, Astral, why must you bring that meme into my chat? Not even a meme, it's a number. barely has a punchline. And again, most memes don't, but the good ones do, let's face it. Okay, I'm just gonna add in text here. Or fuck! Ouroboros. God, that's not even a difficult word to say. It's just, it trips me up. Ouroboros. Or, fuck! Damn it! Hey, Clock, if you're doing some art and you are a Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamer, are you gonna make a dual disc someday? You know, I never thought of that. Oh my god, I could see if people want. Nah, most Yu-Gi-Oh! VTubers already have dual disc commissioned for them. And I could do that like a design raffle thing, like show me your OC and I'll make him a dual disc. And I feel like I don't do enough of those kinds of things. Those are all the rage on the fucking Twitter or whatever. How the fuck is this actually designed? Oh, you know what? I can worry about. I can let the 3D model. No, I can't let the 3D modelers worry about it. I'm the fucking concept artist. I need to work 3D stamp. But you know what? This is just drafting. This is drafting. I can refine it once I actually know what the work dedicate towards. Vector layer and delete. And now for a fucking octagon. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a lot of cool things you can do with the idea of a dual disc. Hmm. Personally, I wanted a hexagon, but I'm not sure how to make a hexagon. Well, I know what a hexagon is, it's just I don't know how to make this Wait. Nah, you work like this. Thank you for the clapping. I'm not sure what the clapping is for, but thank you regardless. Is this an octagon? No, wait. I feel like this is more than an octagon. And I guess, like, if I alter it a tad, instead of it being, like, the points are necessarily... Dash, I forgot to... Ah! Damn it, I forgot. Wait, 1, 2, 3... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Okay, yeah, this is an octagon. I'm drawing magic circles here, folks. Just because I want to make sure I don't lose that middle point. I'm gonna, like, erase, save. There we go. Yeah, I was talking about earlier about possibly increasing the amount of streams I do per week. Honestly, switching to weekly streams, so not weekly streams, but not really weekly streams. Because I notice I really struggle to, like, set deadlines for myself and stay on task. Except when it comes to streaming. Like, streams so far have been the one thing I've been able to maintain consistency in. So of course the logic is, if I want to get work done, stream the work, or put the work on my stream schedule. So why not stream unarchived work streams? Why not? And it's worth attempting for like a few weeks. Granted, I still need to actually dedicate them to a project. So I need to, like, pick something and then just use the time to work on that. Shit. Hold on. No. I... Okay, duplicate, hide, and then... Hey. Yes! This is gonna be one hell of a fucking chakram. Is that I pronouncing that rightly? Also, I feel like I was talking about something beforehand and then got completely sidetracked. I just realized there is something wrong with these points. Damn it! Okay, well, I'll handle that later. I should probably just use the mouse for this one since I'm not really... This... Hmm. Wait a second. Is it... Okay, let's just increase the size a little bit. I feel like it's not aligned properly, though. If I return the visibility on these... this is fairly close. Alright, I was talking about how heroes... I was going into my conspiracy as to why heroes look so similar. Okay, so, I already went over how it's highly likely that the reason why uh, hero designs look so similar is in part... I just realized I'm making it's a square. I just made a square. Doesn't... I wanted to do something a bit different than just a square. I'll be honest, I didn't really well, I had an idea for what I wanted to do with this, just actually making it work in a very different ball game. The corners, though. What about the corners? I need to use one of these to remember where the middle point is. Who knew drawing a fucking octagon would be so complicated? I've lost complete track of what... Excuse me. What everything is supposed to be, where... What the fuck am I making here? I'm making the seal of Orcalcos, I guess. See? No, Hmm. All right. My second theory. God, I cannot keep track of my fucking thoughts. But also, you ever notice how for every one hero, there's like 5 supervillains, right? Well, therein lies the other part of my theory. What if the reason why there's so much more variety in supervillain design is just because there are more supervillains? Like, naturally, every superhero is not gonna it's gonna have, at the bare minimum, one supervillain. And then you account for the fact, why am I in a bunny? So, god damn it! And then you account for the fact that most likely a hero is going to have multiple supervillains, and voila, you have a reason why there are more villains than heroes. And why villains seem... It also explains why heroes look more samey next to each other compared to villains. Because villains, they all have to occupy like the same continuity with a hero. Or, how to explain? Villains have to all occupy the same continuity, which means villains have to stand out from each other. Heroes, well, heroes, on the other hand, they're like the focal point. You're only going to get one of them, you know? What layer am I on? I just fucking realized. I have no idea what I've just created. Behold! Art! Okay, now what layer did I draw actually on? I just remove... Well, actually, Okay, no. I kind of need... Actually, How... If this was what it looked like, how would it work, though? Why do I feel... I just wanted to make sure I'm not... Okay, that helps a little bit. I was trying to figure out the design. Feels less like a chakram, though, and more like it would have to be a throwing star. Like, unless I remove one of these sections and replace it with like a square handle, but then it would completely ruin this whole throwing element. Hold on, I just need to like group all this so I can... Just so I have a copy of the base, so I can begin testing what happens if I can begin playing around with the shape. Alright. Fuck it. Merge everything. I can't be bothered to sort it out. It's like Doctor Strange magic for a minute. Yeah, you know, it kind of does. Not even sure what the heck I'd call it, like Lotus Chakram or something. I mean, it'd be a pretty interesting punching weapon. I don't know, maybe I'm worried a bit too much about like logistics and realism and whatever. That is, I should have. Okay, that time I should have made a new layer. Because this way I can just... It's not going to be exact. Don't take art lessons from me, kids. No, not. God, that looks stupid. Actually, what if... Hold on. What if instead of this... it was... this? I need you to put you back over here anyways, because I need to... Damn it. I mean, technically, no historical precedent for what I'm about to do. At least none that I know of. But it gives me a convenient out. God damn it. That's what I want to do. How does this look? Looks awful. Damn it. I feel like there's something approximating a good idea here. Maybe... maybe if I adjust it to be a bit more circular. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Now then, let's see here. Okay, so if I make it a bit more circular, maybe that'll help. Looks like a magic amulet. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. This is not... I don't know. I'm struggling to come up with ideas for how to make a cool weaponized circle. Like, Ouroboros was where it stopped, you know? Like, let me show you all what a chakram actually looks like. Okay, chakram historical. I want to show you all what an actual historical... Okay, maybe not necessarily historical, but... Okay, this is probably like the best example I can find. This is a chakram. It is a metal circle. Yeah, you can... Not exactly the easiest thing to, like, stylize, you know? Granted, God, my fucking mouse. I don't know. I need to get a new mouse. This one's been disconnecting randomly. Granted, it doesn't just say that there aren't some ways to do it. I'm trying to keep it like... Well, I say I'm trying to keep it accurate considering some of the other weapons I've made. Yeah, I just realized I never thought about what the actual size of this thing... Because if we're doing like... Are we doing small chakrams, large chakrams? Like, I also see these weird chakrams that have like a handle in the middle in fantasy. Like, fucking... I know, isn't there a lead character? There's a lead character. Oh wait, oh my god, there's an actual there's a Chakram Yu-Gi-Oh card? I did not know that. Artifact Chakram. Oh yeah! Artifacts are an actual archetype that's supposed to do something. I forgot that they're not just scythe. What the heck do artifacts do? Like, legitimately. Chakram historical. I know, maybe there's some better design I can figure out from here. Learning from history, as it were. I'm starting to feel like not a lot of were preserved. It's a simple and effective weapon. Maybe historical won't really net me many interesting designs. Granted, if I also wanted to make a chakram, I could do something like this. Now behold. Wrong. Behold. Working smartly. Actually, go on, let me hide you real quick. Move you over here. Angle you slightly. You over here. And now... Oh, okay, this won't be as easy as I had hoped. Ah, crap, I got the angle wrong. Shit. Hold on, I'm on to something here. Fucking... I'm gonna have to do this for all of them. Yeah, this is what I get for not using a dedicated software. It's not like... I know, a shame that there isn't like a Control D function like what Photoshop and Illustrator have here on Krita. I mean... It is at least worth looking into and seeing how it looks at by the end. I just realized I could probably... I merge all of these. I merge all but one of these, because God knows I'll need at least one. And then... on. A chakram yo-yo. Ah, I mean, that's a chakram on a string, which I'm not... No, I don't think there is a precedent for that. I mean, a weaponized yo-yo, though. Yeah, that's a project for another day, I guess. Ah, this is what I get for not spacing it properly. Again, at least one of these sections needs to be used for handle space. Granted, this is hardly what I'd call good design. Hmm. Again, what if... Hold on. Let's take it from the top real quick. Because... Hold on. What if we focus more on just patterns instead of necessarily... I'm not sure what the pattern is going to be based on, per se. I do something like this. Not sure if this will work exactly. Nope, nope. Damn. Again, I guess maybe circles would have been an easier thing to do this with. Yeah, I'm getting nowhere with this. Still, I would be remiss to at least not try to do something. And for the time being, actually... Yeah, how would you hold this? And again, how would you hold most chakram with a handle in the middle of all things? Yeah, I will never understand the logic behind that. You put a handle in the middle of the ring. How are you supposed to hold it? Yeah, don't mind me. Are we making a weapon out of simple shapes here? There's a method to my genius, folks. Just give me a bit. I might as well call this one the lotus. Why not? It has like a lotus, a flower thingy. It looks kind of flowery, right? Granted, I probably will just be going back over it. That's the wrong circle. That's also the wrong circle? What the fuck is the circle? Oh, there it is. I'll probably be retracing it anyway, so... Hey, Citro100, welcome in! Yeah, I'm making a chakram. Trying to, at least. I don't know, there's... So, I showed it earlier, but chakrams are basically these circular metal discs that could be used as throwing weapons. However, because there's only so many ways you could make a metal disc visually interesting, a lot of God, I am blanking here. God, words. Fucking. Since there's only so many ways to make a metal disc interesting, people have taken to adding in visual flair, let's call it. And how, like, one thing I see a lot are these chakrams with handles in the middle of the circle, and every time I see one, I just sit there and think, how are you meant to hold this? Because, like, either that's gonna be really awkward to hold one of those things by the handle, because there's always gonna be some blade pointed at you, and the only way the blade wouldn't be pointed at you is if the fucking circle is facing your opponent, you know? God, this is a sucky handle. I feel like there's so many easier ways to make an S that I just completely fumbled the bag here. Yep. Could have probably made a handle in a bunch of other different ways. I don't think could have probably just looked up like an S shape. Let's just start from scratch and use this tool. Use a gentler slope so there isn't too much error. And now just move one to the left, one to the right, a bit less so. I mean, a bit more so because you also have, like, they have to work both together and separately in a weird way. I don't know. What are all your theories on how you're supposed to wield a chakram with a handle in the middle? We're judging it based on handle size. I think it's based on the handle size. Oof. This is a big fucking weapon. At least compared to the Ouroboros weapon. Hmm. I just realized how he's actually supposed to hold this. Those are some weird curved handles. How does it look split apart is the other thing I have to consider. Only the most bestest of art practices here, folks. I've done better weapons. It's because it looks. I try angling them differently as a way to better emphasize the split. I think the other big issue is that it feels, because there's so few details and I use uh, hard lines and shape tools for all of it, it feels a lot more, not geometric, a lot flatter compared to something like the Ouroboros here. It's lacking in detail, you know? It's lacking in proper detail, at least. Maybe if I add, like, something, anything to hint at... Oh yeah, like, something as simple as these lines do so much to help. Again, I can, once I know which ones to focus on, I can focus on, like, figuring those out. Already, these feel like actual handles now. They somewhat more. Wait a second. Oh, wait, this goes into the middle. Damn it. I can't believe I made such a mistake. Yeah, no, wait, that is how it goes. Oh. Huh. Again, you know what? I can fix it later. It's all just random drafting and ideas. Honestly, I think it looks better in the split form, if anything, because it's less busy visually. If it was just these triangles and not like the outer triangles and not. Hmm. Shit, now I'm wondering. Just kind of relegate you all to your own group. I hide. Let's remove you. I think really what I'm lacking is any what I'm lacking currently is any dedicated or long-term projects, you know? Outside of streaming, which is more of just day-to-day consistency. I mean, I could make a Minecraft adventure map, but I mean, what's that gonna really amount to, you know? There's a card game, but now I'm really starting to wonder about the scope of that. A FNAF fan game probably would be the easiest one, and I can work on it with my brother, which helps a lot. Hmm. I want to copy this and save it for later because I have an idea for that. But for this one, first move you back in here so I can properly measure it. God damn it. Shrink it a little. And then if we instead have the split be... Move it to this, be like this, or no. And if I continue to split it like so, I've gone quiet. I'm just trying to really think on how I'm doing this. There's a lot more improvisation on this one especially. Like the Ouroboros one, I went in with a clear idea. This one, I have something. I just need to actually figure out how to make it work. Like I'm following a string here. Just waiting to see where it leads me, you know? Excuse me. What I did before. Very gentle, very smooth. It had to be on a new layer. I'm already doing better than the last one. A lot less visually cluttered. Do this right. Yeah, no, what I need to do is I need to do one zigzag first and then line up the second. Then I am reining in my chair to get the right angles for this. Now I need to have it so it goes through here and then lines up roughly. No, not quite. Here. Okay, maybe not exactly there, but fuck me. Eh. Okay, maybe this handle design. Okay, this handle design sucks. Second handle design. I think the issue is that I'm doing it as one continuous line. Looks weird as one continuous line. You know, staggering it a little, that helps. Like, having them both go the same direction, though? Uh, what if it was like... Okay, so maybe this will work better. Hey, this is gonna be a completely random question, but do you ever have those dreams where you're back in school and then when you wake up, it takes you a few minutes to remember, oh wait, I'm not in school anymore? I don't know, ever since I graduated, I've been having more and more of those dreams. It's weird. Like I wake up and immediately my mind goes, oh great, I need to organize my schedule, what work do I have to do, and then I remember, oh wait, I graduated and I'm unemployed. Yeah, fun, right? I feel like this needs more like this into it. Okay, already this does look better overall. Kind of, I don't know, I still feel like it needs a little something something, you know? Like it's barren of details at the moment. These, hey, that's the middle. Yeah, but that makes me question now. Oh, god damn it, it's all off center. Fuck. Okay, that's marginally better. I really need to figure out a better way to switch between my expressions other than just use the arrow keys. Hmm. Ah, sorry. It feels like I need to have something on the center point. Make it a bit more unique. What if I just did like this? Nah, something more like... Just take that, copy and paste, do the same thing I did before. Okay, maybe it's not as clean. I mean, it gets the point across. That just makes, I don't know, now it makes it feel like the handle doesn't have depth to it. You know what, this'll do for now. I can expand upon the idea later. Eesh. I have to do like so much resizing. This'll do for now. You know what I should have done? I should have gotten a hand picture. I'm generally wondering if horror games would be a good something to do on this or for streaming. Like, I'm honestly not a big fan of most horror games, mostly because my horror taste is specifically analog horror and video game N64 horror. So honestly, if that one, what was that one game called? What? Shipwreck 64. I don't think that one, in general, that one might have been a good one to just play. I wonder if I should. Would anyone? You think anyone would have an interest in that? Playing Shipwreck 64 or whatever. Or what about like FNAF fan games? I don't know. I know the FNAF fan game thing I did for Halloween was a bit iffy, but there's so many good FNAF fan games out there, you know? Also, how are we feeling on this weapon? I mean, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit odd, a bit flat to me. But, hey, it's something I could work on. Shipwreck. I could have sworn it was a playable. Hold on, let me double check. I swear I've seen it be played. Yep, Shipwreck. Oh my god, it's only $2. I, hmm. I'll add that to my I'll add it to my wish list because I'm not entirely sure. Because I mean, most of the interesting stuff is in the ARG content. Not, I mean, the game itself is still pretty cool, but I know. I just call this one for now. I'll call this one the working title Lotus. I mean, kind of reminds me of a lotus, kind of. I want to at least have a third one though. Like always, good to do threes. We got Ouroboros. We got this Lotus one. Whichever one I do next, I need to design with more intent. You know. Now, what kind of circular whatevers would work? Sacrum. Mm-mm. Triangle? I don't know, a lot of these seem to be like not so much throwing instruments as they are punching instruments. I guess I could go more with that angle, you know? Something designed more for the punch than the throw. But still, what circular things are there? I feel like a crescent moon would be too boring and predictable, you know? I could make a gear. How did I not think of that sooner? A gear why didn't I think of that sooner? They could go either way. Either one with that really weird middle handle thing, and then do it as another split thing, or it could just be a normal ass gear. Do a speed wagon, make a what? A speed wagon. The heck is a speed wagon? What do you mean by saw hat? And not, I'm sorry, but this art stream, I'm not really doing request-based stuff. This art, this is stuff that I've had on my list of stuff I need to draw, and just haven't gotten around to. So I'm using this stream as my time to get that stuff done. There's still like one other weapon I need to design other than a chakram. Yeah, I feel like a gear would itself would be too boring. Yeah. Like it would be just a normal ass gear. Again, I mean I guess it's worth showing, you know? It's worth doing at the very least. Fucking mouse. You know what? Since I want to clear space, I don't need any of you anymore. That was always so I can just expand it. Oh, my bad. Speedrunning from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. I've never actually watched JoJo. Oh, I'll be honest with you. Okay, random question. What do you think's of... So there's a... Okay, usually when people think fantasy, they think like, fucking European fantasy. But what... I don't want to say alternative fantasy, but what spin on fantasy do you think is the coolest? You like science fantasy, where you have all of the fantasy aesthetics and tropes, but with sci-fi being the explanation instead of magic? What about fucking pirate fantasy or Western fantasy, you know? Magic academies could technically be one, or its own genre. Shit. I don't know, but I got it. Alright, you have a good day, Fox. I guess gears aren't really outright square, they tend to be angled. There we are. And we just remove one of these. As I'll remove the right one and save myself the effort. Yeah. Granted, this is another one of the more basic ones, but it's a basic that works, you know? Actually, shit. Something I probably could have done though. I instead just won't be precise per se. It would definitely be better than trying to eyeball it. There's only really one thing I can name it, isn't there? Gear. Ouroboros. Okay, technically I'd say Lotus is the most elaborate, but it's not the good kind of elaborate. It's the elaborate in like it has a lot of design to it. Ouroboros is what I'd say is a good kind of elaborate. It's got the whole snake thing going on. If in hindsight, probably could do something more for this, so it's not just an empty gear. Because gears do have like central points, or they have the. God, what am I thinking? They have bars. They have bars. I know that's not what exactly they're called, but I can't figure out what. I can't remember what. So if I just do something like this. And then something like this. That unbalanced, but nothing too horrendous. It should be. This at least does something to add variety to just being a straight out gear. I feel. Oh, you know what I think it does need though? Right in the dead center. Shit. This time I'm getting it right. I feel like I didn't get that right at all. It's not even centered for one. And if you shrink it down, it loses everything. Hmm. Maybe it needs to be like... Maybe it needs to be a larger one. Maybe that was the issue, was too small. Oh, god damn it again! God, how many more times am I gonna forget to make a new layer? Better. Make it a little bit smaller. Then add at least one circle on top of that. Actually, nah, maybe not. That's only slightly smaller. I mean, yeah, that works. This one's less of meant to be thrown and more for just outright punching. Hmm. You know, you guys have any more circular things? Any more circles? Or ideas for things that are circular that could be turned into weapons? Or at least make cool weapon design. Yeah, pardon me. Sorry about that. Like on one hand, I want to say the whole crescent moon idea, because and that idea keeps coming back to me, but it just doesn't seem like a good one, you know? Seems like a very basic, yeah. And again, and what harm? What's the harm in it? And it's how exactly would I go a crescent moon shape? Hmm. Needs to be a really circular crescent moon. Is the other thing. What if it'll be like a really weird sickle? So there's a clear blade. I feel like that's not exactly what I want to go for. What am I missing? Oh, for God's sakes! A mouse. There we go. The main thing that it would have can't just straight out. Yes. I need to make a completely different curve. Ah, oh well. Yeah, yeah, that looks good. You know, I really should have done this first. That way I can line it up at the very least. And definitely an odd shape, but yeah, it kind of works. And then like here. Hmm, that's like way too small. No worries. Good. Got this much. Make sure the handle size looks good. And flipping it over. That's here-ish. And just do the third. Other. Right one. Can't really just. And actually, I move like. And if I could. Ah! Perfect. Granted, not really a punchy weapon. Which this one. If I then. Oh. That'll do. Yeah, not really a throwing weapon. I mean, it kind of works. But what? I feel like the end piece definitely needs something. I gotta go with good old spiral handle or spiraled handle leather. Wrapped handle, whatever the fuck you call this. Also, I am really excited for the whole free game thing. For those of you who don't know, I recently added a channel to my Discord, which you can join using the links in my socials or !Discord. I created a channel where my members can recommend free games for me to add to the voting list for what games I play on Wednesdays. Thought it would help give the community more involvement in what I stream and help me figure out like what you all want to see. So again, if you know any games that I can get for free and you want me to try them out, put them in the Discord. Or join the Discord and put them in. And just a little something. to make it stand out a bit more, not just a circle on the end. Yeah, that should do. And I'll just call this one Crescent. Okay, it's which one are you? Okay. We move you a bit so you're not. Yeah. So I can more easily pack everything in. Mostly just for space. Lotus is definitely the biggest here. I guess one more addition. Yeah, this is gonna be awkward, but not quite. No. And nah. Details like that can be added later. Shoot, so now I feel like this is... I need to have something. There. Well, what do you all think of these so far? I mean, they're definitely... I've never really drawn chakram before. Never thought them as that interesting of a weapon, visually at least. But I mean, I guess this is why so many chakram in fantasy have crazy, nonsensical designs. I mean, gotta do something to spice it up visually, right? Hmm. Not really sure where to go from here with the thing. On one hand, I'm not really sure what to continue drawing on stream. At the same time, I don't know what I'm gonna do after stream. Hmm. Well, yeah. These art streams tend to be shorter anyways. And I do have the question on, like, continuing the art streams. Because on one hand, I wonder if there is much interest in it. But I mean, on the other hand, this basically allows me to schedule my art time, which honestly is probably the only way I'm going to get any art done. So I suppose these streams are less for, like, streaming purposes, and more so just so I can make sure I dedicate at minimum 2.5 hours or 2 hours to whatever I need to get done. Yeah, something to consider for next week, I suppose. But for the time being, I'm not sure where else to go from here. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and for those of you who are watching on YouTube, good night, everybody.